I'll learn you. Diversity, teach me. I teach you like university. Freedom be.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to our learning series. I'm Dr. CI and I'm back in the building. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share our videos, turn on that notification button because I'll be bringing you education, free education all the time about diversity, equity, and inclusion. Now, in this episode, we're going to be talking about environmental microaggressions. What are microaggressions? So an environmental microaggression in particular is a microaggression that is created in a space, and it's often nonverbal, that offends someone. So it could be an institution, it could be a billboard, it could be anything in your surrounding that creates a subtle slight that offends someone's identity in some way, shape, or form. Now, I'm gonna give you a couple of examples of environmental microaggressions. What's the first one? Is what we call spatial representation. What is spatial representation when you're talking about a microaggression environmentally? What that means, for example, is let's say you go to your favorite college in, let's state of New Mexico, whatever. I don't care where your college is. When you walk on campus, who are the buildings named after? Who are the conference rooms named after? Most educational institutions that are traditionally white or predominantly white often name buildings after their donors. Most of their donors tend to be white male because when we think about the racial wealth gap, that's who can tend to afford to donate to a building and have it named after them. So let's say every building on your campus, except for one, is named after a white male or named after a white person, right? That's an environmental microaggression. So you have to think about your conference rooms, etc. What does it look like to be more inclusive? The next is media representation. I remember when we watched a commercial when I was younger and we used to look at the media, nobody in the commercials ever looked like us, right? Or I work with companies often who are in advertising and production. And during casting, we always have to have conversations about what is inclusive, what's not inclusive. And I always get companies who say, well, our audience won't approve of people who have a certain skin color, etc. And I have to correct them and redirect them. Now that is environmentally a microaggression because you are catering to your audience. It's also a racial microaggression, so they overlap. They can overlap. But I'm going back to the institution about the fact that when you walk into a college and you see a room, a library, a conference room, a building, etc., is not named after the people that look like you, that is a spatial microaggression. And then for media representation, if and when it happens during casting, during a video, you only see light-skinned women in someone's video, that's media representation. And or when you look at the paper, for example, remember when Hurricane Katrina happened in New Orleans? Well, there's this clip that was created by CNN that shows a young black boy walking through the water dragging a plastic bag. In the commentary, it says, residents of New Orleans are seen looting local stores for, whatever. Then there was a picture of a white couple walking through the water with bags. And it said, residents of New Orleans are fighting to survive daily and having to go into stores. These people had the same plastic bags, but the black kid was a looter and the white couple wasn't, even though they was both fighting for the same thing, which was survival. Do you see the context there? That's media representation, and that is environmental microaggressions as well, again, as racial microaggressions. So what should you do? First, you need to create an equity lens. What that means, for example, for colleges and institutions, I want y'all to hear me and hear me real well when I say this to you. If and when you are naming buildings, you can rename the buildings that you currently have after, for example, graduates or famous BIPOC populations, famous trans populations, etc. If it is heteronormative, then that means that it could become an environmental microaggression. So let's say your buildings are only named after men. It doesn't just have to be racial, it can be environmental. Even if your buildings are named after one gender identity in general, that's an environmental microaggression. If you want to be inclusive, include all the people who attend that institution, right? Or have attended that institution. Who are your Black graduates? What are your top graduates? Who are your alums that perhaps can donate? Think about what it is even that the building teaches. Like if you in geography, Who is a famous geologist that is a person of color? Why you ain't naming the building after them, right? Name your college of geology after them. You have to think about the fact that we have racial wealth gaps, and that forbids especially women and BIPOC populations from being able to have the money to donate to colleges at the same rate that white males do. So you have to create different strategies in order for them to be included when you are creating space for your institution. You get what I'm saying? Or even y'all quick to name a BIPOC scholarship after us, but you won't name a building after us? That's a problem. So that's why I'm saying you got to change those things. For media representation, you need to start building inclusive rubrics and designs that question people's intentions if and when you are going through casting. Like, where's a cultural appropriation fit in here? What kind of populations are you leaving out? Those things are so important. And if you want to learn more, you should subscribe to Inclusology, because we actually give you the tools to do that. I'm gonna put a link at the bottom for y'all to understand how to receive the education that helps you create change. But those are just some strategies to help you understand how to navigate environmental microaggressions. Once again, I'm Dr. CI. Look down in the description. I'll have more content and resources for you. This is our learning series. I am coming back again in the building to talk about more controversial shit, and I will see y'all soon. Leave your experiences also in the comments at the bottom, and tell us if you've experienced environmental microaggressions. What was it like? Share your story with us and engage with us. Some of y'all be in the comments calling me out my name and talking shit. I don't care about y'all. I'm talking about the people who actually come here to learn. Y'all check us out. I'm here for y'all. I'll see you soon, and I'm bringing more education to you. So don't forget to like and share our video.